Welcome everyone to the 2023 softball season preview. Justin Burtis here, joined by new head coach Sydney Lahners in her first year, but not her first year here at Vanguard. She's been here a couple assisting. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing pretty well. So, exciting times. Your first year as head coach, you've been here as an assistant. So, talk a little bit about moving into this new role and what you're looking for here as your first year at the helm.
Yeah, things have been great. Moving into this new role, I'm excited to build off of what we've kind of built the last few years with Coach Freeman. We had a young team last year, and so we're still young, but I mean, the ultimate goal is always win GSAC and then move our way up maybe into opening rounds or even at the World Series. So, but first and foremost is winning GSAC. That's the team's goal. We talk about it every day, and then we'll go from there, just taking it step by step.
And how has it been kind of sliding into this new role, and how has the team reacted to you becoming their new head coach?
It's definitely been a change. I think the girls I think they benefited off of seeing a familiar face. This being my third year, and Coach Gabby last year was her first season, and so she was returning this year. I think they just needed some consistency, and so from my understanding, they were a little happy with a familiar face, and so they seem ready to go, and it's been good. We've been focusing on a lot of team building things and just working on our culture, but the girls are good and they're ready to play.
Excellent. Well, then let's reflect a little on last year. Again, you were part of a run that saw the team go 39-15, 16 in GSAC, good for second in the standings at the end of the regular season. Unfortunately, though, falling a little short in the GSAC tournament, William Jessup taking the double title last year. But otherwise, a pretty good year. The third most wins for the team in the past 10 years. The Lions have now finished first or second in the past 5 years of competitive GSAC play. And the numbers, pretty good. Team batting average of 300, team on base percentage of 316, and a plethora of GSAC awards. Reflect a little on what happened last year.
We had a good season last year, but it stung a little bit not being able to make it to postseason. And we just remind the girls every day that we don't want to be in that position again this year. So we had a good year, definitely something strong to build off of, but ultimately it doesn't really mean anything unless you go to postseason. So the girls are hungrier, in my opinion. The returners that felt that, we just missed postseason by a win or a loss, they're carrying that into this season and kind of helping the freshmen along the way to realize our ultimate goal is postseason, and we want to make a run for it.
Talk a little bit about the newcomers then we'll get into the returners. Who's showing up here that might make an impact on this Vanguard side in 2023?
Yeah, we have a very strong freshman class. We have 29 this year, 21 are underclassmen, so we are super young. But the freshman class, we have 12 freshmen, and I'm super excited for them just to see what they do in their careers. But I mean, it's a strong class. There's people like Ashlyn Whipple, Tiffany Poe. I can't say enough about them. They come out every day and compete. I'm speaking as to the whole freshman class. They don't want to just be a part of the team, they want to contribute. And so I'm very excited to see them when they're juniors and seniors.
The returners obviously are all but 2 players, and that is a boon for this team because certainly there were a couple emergences last year and continued buildings of a couple other players. Kaylee Williams showed up and just hit 351 with 4 home runs, 41 RBIs to lead the team, 17 doubles, top of the squad. Bianca Morales, 378, 7 taters, 38 RBI, and 14 doubles. Nomi Chavez, 11 stolen bases, 21 RBI, and a 377 batting average, just to name a few on the hitter side. How are they looking so far on the year?
They're looking good. You know, I guess you never really know how anybody looks until game 1 of season, but I'm excited to see, obviously, like you said, we have 8 of our 9 starters last year returning, which is a huge, huge advantage for us. But that doesn't mean that, somebody new is going to be in that new starting position. But I'm seeing the leadership from those returners, and with us being such a young team, they're having to teach more than they ever have. It's not just, hey, I gotta worry about what I do and get it right. It's, okay, hey, I need help this freshman here or this underclassman here. So you're starting to see them step into more leadership roles and take those underclassmen and those freshmen under their wings. But yeah, Kaylee W, Bianca, Noni, I'm excited to see what they do this season. They've looked great. They worked hard in the fall, and so it's just, let's hit the ground running and see what we can do.
Then we'll focus as we transition as well from returners to positions as we look towards the new season, and we'll start with pitching. Brianna Williams. No one knew her name in the GSAC. Turned out to be one of the best pitchers. 1.57 ERA, 161 strikeouts, 49 runs allowed in 192 inning pitch, including 23 complete games. What else can you say about the freshman of the year from last year?
I don't think words can describe Bree. She works her butt off. She works harder than anybody else on the team, and it shows. I would not be surprised if she has the same exact year this year as she did last year. So as far as Bree, she's our workhorse, and she's going to come out again this year, very similar to last. So I'm excited to see. The sky's the limit for her.
How's it been with her as well? We'll get to the other pitchers in a minute. Working with Gabby for another year.
Yeah, that's also another thing too. Is last year was everyone's first year with Coach Gabby, and so this year, the freshmen, it's their first year, but our returners, it's their second year. And so I think we're going to see more. Gabby's going to be able to work with them a little bit better. She knows them more. And so I'm excited to see what Coach Gabby does with the whole staff.
Rounding out the pitchers in, talk a little bit about the new pitchers, which we don't know as much as about, but we also have the return of Emmy Anderson, 3.13 ERA back in 22-1. She missed off last year. Mia Portillo, 3-0 last year. Leanne Miranda, 5-4 last year. How's the rest of the staff behind the Ace and Williams?
Yeah, so we have 7 pitchers this year, which I don't think anybody can complain about too many pitchers. So we have freshman Vanessa Robles, she's from Fresno area. We have Cameron Fritz, who's a lefty, and then Madi, who is also a lefty. So I'm excited that we get to add 2 left arms to the staff. We haven't had that since I've been here, and I know as a hitter I hated hitting off of lefties, so I'm excited that we get to throw those 2 in the bunch as well, and this is going to be our strongest staff in my opinion, and I'm excited to see them work as a staff. It's not just, okay, Bree, it's all up to you. We're going to need some more help from the others, and they're ready to fill that role, and so I'm just excited to see what the staff as a whole does.
Take us around the rest of the fielders then, catcher in the infield. How's it shaping up?
Yeah, so this year with such a large roster, we have depth, which we haven't had since I have been a part of Vanguard. Now instead of there being maybe 1 other person at your position, there's 2, 3, sometimes 4. So catching, we have Carly Colenso. She's taking her 5th year, so they call her the grandma of the team. She was a part of the 2019 team that went to the World Series, so she's the only person on the team that has postseason experience, and so she brings that every day to practice and just sharing that with the girls, and she wants that for them as much as anybody else. We also have Kaylee W. Also, she's a sophomore returning. Kaylee W. last year, she didn't come in as a catcher. Colenso ended up hurting herself, and so we asked Kaylee, hey, can you catch? You used to. I know you've been practicing first for the last 4 months you're here, but can you catch? And she was like, yeah, sure. She's actually really embraced the catching position. And she shared that. She's excited to catch. Last year, I don't think that was the most exciting thing for her, but she's expressed that she loves catching. She's excited to work with pitchers and continue to grow there. So we also have Ashlyn Whipple, freshman. I'm excited to see what she does. It's going to be competitive back there. You have 3 very strong catchers, and then we also have Annie Swanson, who is also a freshman. She plays some outfield as well. Alyssa Tavera, who also catches, and Carly Rowe, who is a junior. So that's just in the catching position. First base, Bianca, which if Bianca continues to hit, it's pretty scary for everybody else in our conference. But yeah, we have then Paige, and then we actually have 4 second basemen. It's very young over in the second base position, but that's okay. We have a sophomore in Adriana Noriega, and then we have 3 other, sorry, Natividad. We have 3 other sophomore freshmen over there, and then Emma Noble returning at short, which is huge. You know, she played probably 45 games over there last year, which is a huge advantage. So now she's a sophomore. And then we have Ashley Klopfenstein, who is a senior over at third. And then around the outfield, I'm actually excited to see Bree be able to play some outfield this year. I think she's very excited about that as well. Bree's just an athlete, so I'm all for not limiting her to just pitching, and she knows that. So it's been nice to see her this fall kind of shine out there and be able to do something else besides pitch. And then Noni's kind of the mom of the outfield, as they say. She controls everyone out there. She's a leader, and she does a good job. And then we have a couple sophomores, Ari Corral and Marissa Garola as well, that play the outfield. So I tell the girls every day, it's not set. Starting 9 is not set. Honestly, tomorrow I don't know who would be in some positions, and that just shows how competitive our team is, and that shows that every day at practice, you're competing for something. There's no given. Sorry,
this team also was very good defensively, picked up a number of gold gloves, and will that continue this year?
I hope so. I actually love to teach defense, and so I concentrate in the infield, and then our new coach, Julia Cavazos, she is the outfield coach, and so that is my goal, you know, to pick up some more golden gloves. Defense is just as important as hitting. Some coaches' philosophy is, well, we just need to hit, and whatever happens on the defense happens, but ultimately defense wins games. So I'm hoping to pick up some more golden gloves, but defense is very important for us.
We'll hope to see more of that as the schedule gets going, which does kick off home opener on February 9th, but you play Chapman in a scrimmage and then head up to Oregon. A first of 4 against Southern Oregon. You're also taking on Simpson and Corbin. So talk a little bit about the non-conference schedule, obviously highlighted by number 10, Southern Oregon, the Raiders, again after playing them last year.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, us being able to open up in Oregon and be on the road for our first game, and not only that, but playing a top 10 team is going to test our team day 1, and that's exactly what we need. You know, with such a young team, these girls need to see, okay, what are we made of? You know, when we play a good team, a top 10 team like Southern Oregon, are we going to show up, or are we going to crumble under the pressure? So I'm very, very excited that we get to travel to Oregon and open up there, and then to play them again at home, just literally less than a week later will be another test. So I'm very excited to see if our team rises to the occasion, and they're very capable.
Then you come home, you've got a couple games, Southern Oregon again, Wittenberg. Anything on them? A new opponent for the Lions?
Yeah, I don't know much on Wittenberg. It's a Monday game, which is good. I think that also builds character for our team being off on Sunday, so they're gonna have to show up Monday and find a way to pull out 2 wins. So as you see in the schedule, we have, I believe it's 2 Monday games, and that was done strategically just to see our team compete. And all right, what are we gonna do after a day off? Let's figure out a way to win 2.
Then we get into GSAC. You play Hope coming in on March 7th. Season finale April 28th. GSAC tournament at Great Park in Orange. May 1, 2, 3. Talk a little bit about the GSAC. You guys were picked to finish 2nd behind William Jessup. You're getting votes in the NAIA National Preseason Rankings. What's the expectation? What does the conference look like?
The conference is looking strong. I think the GSAC is continuously proving themselves, and we just have to continue to do that. Obviously, there's not that many conferences on the West Coast for the NAIA, the Cascade Conference probably being the strongest. And so, I mean, our biggest competitor right now is Jessup. You know, they kind of have a target on their back after winning the GSAC last year. And so, but as far as everyone else, I'm excited to see how strong the other teams are in the GSAC. But ultimately, you know, we're going for that GSAC tournament, and we want to win, and we want to move to postseason. So.
Well, I think you've got your goals pretty much laid out. and I think you should have a very interesting season, which means you have to get out and watch them out on the softball field again. The regular season at home opens up at February 9, GSAC on March 7th. Coach Sydney Lahners, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck in season number 1 as head coach, and we hope for many victories again out on the softball field.
Thank you.